Welcome to Tales That Stay, stories that stay with you.
The day does not begin when the first light touches the world. It begins when a thought arrives. Most people lose before they even open their eyes. They call it tiredness. They call it bad luck. They call it reality. But it is something else. It is the quiet sentence repeated every morning. This is how my life is. And once that sentence is believed, the day bends to it. Michael lay still on the bed long after the alarm stopped ringing. The room was dim, familiar, unchanged. The same ceiling crack. The same hum of the fan. The same heaviness pressing on his chest. Not physical, but deep and invisible. Another day, he thought. Another day that will end exactly like the last. He rose because habit pushed him, not hope. He washed his face, dressed, ate without tasting. Outside, the world was already moving, but Michael felt separate from it, like a spectator watching a life that refused to include him. Nothing dramatic had gone wrong in his life, and that was the most painful part. No disaster to blame, no clear enemy to fight. Just years passing quietly. At work, Michael's hands did what they were told. His mind stayed elsewhere. When mistakes happened, he expected them. When opportunities appeared, he stepped aside, convinced they belonged to someone else. Inside him lived a belief so old it felt like truth. I'm not the kind of person things change for. That belief followed him everywhere. It spoke when he hesitated. It nodded when he failed. It whispered, "See, I told you." Evenings were the hardest. They left too much space for thinking. Michael would sit alone, replaying moments, rewriting conversations in his head, imagining different outcomes that never came. Sometimes he wondered when it had started, the negative thinking, the quiet surrender, but he could never find the beginning. It felt like it had always been there. One rainy afternoon, Michael stayed late at work, as usual. He was reviewing a report that had already been rejected twice. Exhausted, he leaned back and stared out the window. The office was nearly empty, except for Jenna, a newly joined colleague. She approached hesitantly, holding a stack of papers. I need your advice on this, she said, voice uncertain. I can't figure out how to make it right. Michael looked at the papers. They were flawed, yes, but fixable. Normally, he would have shrugged, muttered something neutral, and let her figure it out alone. But that day, for reasons he didn't understand, he didn't look away. He spent the next hour patiently explaining, showing small corrections, guiding her step by step. She listened, nodding, her confidence slowly growing. When she finally left, she looked back and smiled, genuinely grateful. Alone, Micah felt a strange warmth. Not pride exactly, but connection. For the first time in a long time, he noticed something important. He could make a difference. Not in some grand, abstract sense. Not by luck or waiting. But right here, right now, in small, concrete ways. That small act helping someone else was the first crack in the wall of his negativity. It wasn't magic. It wasn't sudden transformation. It was a quiet, undeniable proof. His thoughts about being stuck weren't entirely true. The next morning, the old thought arrived as usual. This day will be the same. Michael noticed it as a thought, not a rule. He paused. Then he chose differently. Not dramatically, but deliberately. He offered help. He tried something small he had been avoiding. He noticed the moment instead of letting it pass. Days passed. Sometimes he failed. Sometimes he forgot. But the seed had been planted. Action, even tiny, ordinary action, could challenge his inner voice. Months later, standing in the same office corridor, Michael realized that life had not suddenly changed. He still faced the same challenges, the same uncertainties, but he faced them differently. He acted instead of merely thinking. He noticed instead of giving up. He engaged instead of withdrawing. Life did not become perfect, but it became possible. Moral of the story: the mind becomes the shape of the thoughts it is given. Negative thinking convinces us that we are powerless long before we try. But even small, concrete actions, helping someone, walking a step, choosing to engage, can quietly break the hold of defeat. Positive thinking is not denial. It is the courage to act differently in the same world.